Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. On the 08 machine, I'm Dave, KB7ZYM, the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airwaves with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters crossband repeater and puts out images of 1.2 gigahertz. Also, we're on the internet. Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS, and it'll take you to our homepage, and that lists the frequencies that we transmit on, and also a link to stream our nets that are held on the 08 machine on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So again, this is Dave, KB7ZYM, and I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic and needs to utilize the 08 machine to make a contact. Doing that again, this is Dave, KB7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. First I checked in by video link is Jessica, KS7UHK, Britt, N7CS, Richard, K7ITX, Wade, W7ITL, Jim, N7QO, and myself, Dave, KB7ZYM. Is there anybody else? Let's see. I just see James, WW7N, just checked in by video. And again, is there anybody else who would like to check in that has not done so yet? Hearing now, we'll start off our net. Let's start off with Jessica, KS7UHK.
KS7UHK, Jessica up here in Everett, Washington, where it's starting to sprinkle out here again, which is nice. I was hoping for the big storm to come through here. We had a lot of wind yesterday, and I think the day before, and up at Mount Vernon we had a lot of wind up there. Of course, we always get a lot of wind up there. It's kind of flat, coming off the water up there. So that was what I was looking at today. So my big news is we may cancel our big Rome trip, and it's mostly due to EU restrictions and boat the boat restrictions for us getting off the boat with the EU, with the European Union. So we're trying to go through some websites, so the French website and the Italian website and Portugal website to try to get these different things that will let us get off, but we're not sure if that's working or if it's going to work. So we're going to do a big pregnant pause and see if the boat cancels for people in the same situation who don't want to be stuck on a boat for 17 days and not be able to go see the cities we want to go see. Because if they cancel, if the boat cancels the trip, we get all our money back. If we cancel our trip, we get 3/4 of the money back. How's that for? And don't ever try to call it the Norwegian Cruise Lines and get information from anybody, because it's tough. It's tough. Everybody's pointing their fingers at other apartments saying, "Oh, we don't know about that. You gotta talk to these folks." We got hung up on at least once, and I got hung up on a chat line with them at least once. So it's been kind of tough. So I'm gonna pass it back. This is KS7UHK that's going on here in Everett.
KS7UHK, Jessica, thanks for that. Let's go to Bert, N7CS.
Okay, well, hello everyone. Yeah, that doesn't sound good about your trip, Jessica. Didn't remember where you were going to go. I've got a trip planned for July to go to Iceland and Greenland, and I'm hoping by then everything will be kind of figured out. But if yours is, I don't remember what time yours was, but if you need a contact with a Norwegian, I have one of the personal cruise consultants there. I can send you their information. If you book with a travel agent, I don't think they can talk to you at all. But if you book online or whatever, maybe they can set you up. But fair warning, they'll bug you every 3 months to buy another cruise. So you may want to just consider that before reaching out to them. But let's see. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the weather was really bad. I can't remember if it was Saturday or Sunday. It must have been Saturday, Sunday after the net. I mean, it was on Sunday because the wind, we got a really strong gust here, and my TV antenna, which also had my HF receive-only loop on it, got knocked over. And, of course, it crashed into some of my other antennas and did some damage, but luckily my 2-meter, 70-centimeter antenna is okay. That one escaped, so I assume everybody can hear me all right. But, yeah, so, but yeah, more later. Anyway, this is Bert and Marshall, and 7CS back to that.
7CS back to that. Let's go to Richard, K7ITS.
Okay, well, so, looks like we're missing Ron tonight. I overheard that he had some guests at the house, so he's tied up with that right now. Let's see, oh yeah, what a bummer, Jessica. I was really I was kind of looking forward to all your great stories, quite honestly. I don't know, maybe that's selfish on my part to kind of piggyback on all your fun, but I'm kind of a homebody, and maybe one of these days, after Tipper and Mika pass on, maybe I'll do something like that. But I think I'd be more inclined to take the kind of trips, I should say, multiple trips like Bert's been doing. That looks, I don't know, at least for a starter anyway. Let's see. Well, and then the only other thing I've got to report is I took a really good look at the locks on our mailboxes, and so maybe I'll fill you, especially James. I know he was having some issues, and so I figured out how our locks might be different from his. With that, KD7ZYM, K7ITS, back to net control.
ITS, Richard, thanks for that. Let's get out of the caller to Wade, W7ITL.
This is W7ITL, and it should be a pretty quick round for myself. I don't really have anything queued up on my computer to show you any videos tonight, so we'll just be kind of listening tonight. Yeah, Jessica, it sounds like you're not going to be going to Europe. I forgot that you were going there, but that would be really fun to go. I've always wanted to go to Europe, and Southern Europe to be exact would be a really nice place to go. Looks like Lee just joined us, and let's see, everything was good today. Weather has been pretty cold and pretty wet tonight, and I'm glad I bought the extra heat pumps in my house this summer, and they're really helping out my upper floor, because before that, we didn't have really much any heat up here. So I'm glad that we got that, because it was a good 67 degrees up here instead of the usual 60, 65 when it's in the winter. So this is W7ITL, and back to net. Thanks.
W7ITL, thanks for joining the net. Let's go to Jim, M7QO, Covington.
M7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, good evening, everyone. Let's see, the topic seems to be weather. Yeah, it's raining furiously here just south of Covington right now, and it has been doing so for the last couple of hours, since probably right about when it got dark. And right now I'm showing 49 degrees. It's not terribly windy now, but we had a pretty good blow the past couple of days. There are needles just all over the darn street, plus a bunch of leaves. I live sort of up on a hill. Unfortunately, there's a ridge between me and most of Seattle, but nevertheless, I have to go down a bit of a hill, and there are leaves from hardwood trees. Sometimes it makes the trip downhill a little bit exciting, so we used to get a little slick and try to go down there. Jessica, well, sorry about your trip. I have a couple of friends who just got back from Italy about 2 weeks ago, and all went well for them. A problem, I hate to say, but it's this virus, and rules vary between countries, and the problem is they are subject to change, and they may change in the middle of your trip, and that can really mess things up. Particularly, some of the countries used to mandate quarantines, and for that matter, Hawaii was doing that for a while too. Golly, a pretty big challenge. Reset. Bert, sorry about your antennas. I don't know exactly what to make of that with the wind, but it sounded like maybe you have your 1.2 gigahertz antenna up all the time now. No? Okay, well, I was just curious about that. It sounded a little bit like maybe you did. And let's see, Dick, mailbox locks. Sounds like someone might be having a problem. We had maybe sometime last year, someone dumped what looked like a pickup truck load of mail from all over the Seattle area, right at the end of our street. So things are bizarre. We have had problems with some people taking mail, but I don't know, when it comes to locks, one of the fellows around here had a locking mailbox, and all it took was I don't know exactly what they used, a gigunda screwdriver or some sort of pry bar, and they just broke the thing open. I guess there's an expression that locks are made to keep honest people honest, but anyway, we'll be interested to hear what you have to say. 87ZYM and 7QO. YB.
Ready calling, try again.
87HYB.
Gary, K7HYB, I got you down. Thank you for checking in. And let's go to James, WW7ATS.
James, WW7N Northeast W here. Well, Jessica, that is really annoying. I had heard that Italy had the strictest mandates for vaccinations for workers in their own country, and that was allegedly a problem. Also, there were some countries in Eastern Europe, like for example in Romania, almost nobody wants to get a vaccine because of that history's horrific past with testing things on live humans and stuff, and so nobody trusts them to what they're injecting into them, which is a shame. And then, it's just all over the board. So I guess I never considered this as a problem, but if you're going to France, Italy, and Portugal, yeah, I could change in the middle, but I don't know, it still might be kind of fun to go. But it is interesting that if you cancel it yourself, it's like some kind of game of chicken. They give you 3/4 of the back, but they cancel it all. So they want you to cancel, they just don't want to say that, I think. So I go, and I go to 5 meals a day. That's just me. Wind damage. Well, if the antenna coming down didn't hit anything important, then I guess you're a winner. All my antennas now are still portable antennas that I set up when I need them. But I want to put a wire way up into a tree, and I was about ready to do that when this weather came in, so I didn't quite beat the weather. Let's see, Ron. What I was going to say, Ron's not here right now, but I told him that he should just tell the ambassador he just has to wait till the net's over, and then, come back to him later. I don't know why he didn't do that. But anyway, I guess, it's his dinner party. Listen, I'm only using on mailboxes because you're going to laugh at this one. Okay, so there was a homeowner meeting last night, and I volunteered for $8 per cylinder for 8 cylinders. It's going to replace the cylinders that are broken, and that's about what they cost. But instead, they made a decision to spend somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 to replace every mailbox on the street. You cannot make this up. Oh, but the best part, the boxes they're replacing have the exact same cylinder vulnerability as the 8 that were broken into. Yeah. This is why I had a mixed and colorful history of working as a certified information system security professional for corporate America. So anyway, next round I'll tell you how I really made the military happy with a lock. So Richard, interested to hear what you have to say about your mailboxes. This is James WW7ATS in Northeast W.
7N. Thanks for that. And for ID, this again is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. I'm Dave, KD7CYM for ID. Well, here in Lake City, I've got 50 degrees on the thermometer and it's raining out there. Can you imagine that? I guess it's even going to be worse over on the coast. I see for Lee, a slated 2 inches of rain overnight, so that could be kind of a moisture area than what's hitting here in Seattle. And let's see, I was without power for 12 hours starting on Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The power went out, and for the city of Seattle, taking 12 hours to get power back really is stretching it. They're generally power outages are taken care of in about 2 hours maximum, but boy, this went on and on. I did have an outage a couple of years back that it was out for 3 days, so it does happen in the city. Luckily, I had a generator, and still have a generator, but I was able to keep everything in a freezer going and the furnace going, so that was healthy to have. So that's pretty much what's happening here in Lake City. So let's go up to the top. Well, I should take one more. Is there anybody else besides Gary that just wanted to check in? Seeing none. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM. So we'll go up to the top to Jessica, KN7UHK.
KD7UHK, continuing with our dilemma. It's like Captain Kirk said to Mr. Spock. It's not chess, Mr. Spock, poker. Because we're gonna wait till the last minute to cancel, because it doesn't matter if we cancel now or at the last minute. And if they cancel because other people are canceling, then obviously we get more refund. And so far it's getting a little bit comical. If you asked me yesterday, I was furious when I found out. I was on the phone at 7 in the morning, which is we're talking back to Florida, and I was not furious. I more felt like it just got my car broken into, my ham radio ripped off. Is what I felt like. I just felt just violated, and I still kind of feel that. But so this can't be done. So come on, it's vacation money. It's not going to be that big a deal. If we don't go, then we have a lot more days to go do other things that she's been saving her time up for. But yeah, this is going to be a 17-day plus 2 days extra in Italy. And we were worried we were going to get to Italy and be stuck in a hotel room and not be able to walk out the door till they take us down to the boat and stick us on the boat. And the cruise line would say things like, but our ship is a very nice ship. You'll enjoy your time on the ship. And I know we would. We were going to have days and days in the Atlantic, coming across the Atlantic to be on that boat and see all the shows and see all the TV, which is not very good on boats because it's usually the same thing over and over and over again. I think they were playing up on our TV set, and they just kind of every time it got done, it started again. You could see up over and over again. It's a great movie, no doubt. But after you've seen it a couple times, it carries out that. Done with that. And that was on the Princess Cruise Liner. So we also had lots of Princess Cruise Line commercials with the folks from the Love Boat, because that was a Princess cruiser. So we're not in despair about the whole thing, but it's just kind of like, okay, if if you're in the situation, it's good to figure this out. We have another trip that's going to be down in the Bahama area. That's going to be like about a year and a half away. That if we cancel this one, we'll shift our funds over to that one, and keep on cruising, keep on traveling like Rick Stevens would say. So yeah, let's see. Otherwise, I'm going to pass it back because I got probably more things to say later on. But it's good to see everybody. This is KF7UHK.
Thanks for that, Jessica. KF7UHK. Let's go to Lee, M7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, testing, Okay, I got it. Well, good evening, everybody. Lee here in 7KC in Port Angeles. I got a set of earbuds which she doesn't seem to like, and so I've got the left one in, and these, my gosh, they're nice. Go Air True Wireless. Anyway, so I got no wires here, and I got an earbud in, and I'm on Echo Lake, so it's pretty good. Jessica, I got in she took off. I got in just as I missed the initial thing with all that, and then I got it out to Jessica. Then it was just a trip. So, yeah, well, that's very good. We have two end here. My feed line, my 75 meter and my 20 meter wire line with pretty high antennas. They really took a thumping, but it didn't break anything. All the wires are intact, and I can still use it fine, so pretty minor. And the last thing I did, which I thought I would like to see if I could show here, is I guess can you see that?
N7KC timeout.
N7KC. The computer said you're timed out. I'll hold a few more seconds for Lee to see if he gets reconnected here. I got it back. You hear me? I don't know why I got jumped. But anyway, I set up my video camera. I set up my video camera as a 30-second interval time lapse. And I started it on Saturday before the pressure really started to go down. And then I let it run. So I was getting 4 seconds of video per hour. So every 12 hours, about 38 seconds, or 96 seconds an hour. And I didn't let it run 4 days until it was about over. And so I had my camera only run 12 hours, so I had my alarm set, and as soon as the camera would stop, then I would just immediately start it again, and so forth. And so I got a pretty good record of that low pressure here.
I got down to 972 millibars here, but I'm at 210 feet, so you have to add like 8 millibars to get the mean sea level. And so I put those together in the Video Studio Pro this afternoon. I wanted to see if I could show them tonight. Anyway, I hope that came across. I set it up, I grabbed it and scrubbed it myself, you know. Otherwise, it would take 4 minutes to run across there, and that's too long. So I just grabbed the thing and scrubbed it. Gets very dramatic. Other than that, I love this other thing. The payoff are outrageously nice. You don't even know they're in. And you look like another bug, so it's got equalizer in, so you have 3 positions. And whatnot. Anyway, back to you, Dave. Let's dedicate the important answer.
Connected N7KC.
Sharing that with us. Let's go on to Bert, N7CS in Marysville.
Okay, well, hello again, everyone. Lee, that was a really cool video. You should probably send that to Cliff Moss or somebody, or something like that. It was really, really slick. I guess next time I go on a ship, I'm going to have to bring in one of those big barometers, too, just kind of carry it on me, like with a chain or something walking around, maybe around my neck. That would be kind of cool. But let's see, what else is going on here? Well, so the electricians still have not finished their work. They did come out again today at the house to take a look at things. Generator is still not completely hooked up yet. We need to have like an inspector come out to verify the pipe. No, yeah, there you go, Lee. To verify that the gas pipe isn't leaking, so that they can do the final hookup and get it enabled. Hopefully this can happen before the storm hits, so that luckily I haven't lost power yet. Jim, you were asking earlier about if I had a 23-centimeter antenna up all the time. Not for ATV, but I do have like a tri-band 2-meter, 70-centimeter, 23-centimeter vertical up. Does nothing for me for ATV, where I have it placed right now, but I guess we are vertical, but yeah, I don't pick anything up on it. The only thing I can really hit with it is some of the local 23-centimeter repeaters, which aren't very well, I don't have enough power to like hit them very well. I do have an amp I need to hook up, but so maybe I'll be able to get some good use out of that antenna soon. More about the electricians on the next round, since I'm probably already almost close to 2 minutes. So this is Bert in Marysville, N7CS, back to that.
N7CS, Bert, thanks for that. Let's go on to Gary, K7HYB.
And good evening, all. K7HYB, 87ZYM. We're just chugging along, and I was unable to access the IP input for the streamer on the site. Apparently either my IP changed or something like that. So, Bert, you might take a look at that for me, would you please? When you get a chance. Probably not today. At this moment. But anyway, I could not access the input to the decoder on the site, and I had to. And I've got a stream up. I don't know if you can switch me in or not. But got 28 degrees here at 88% humidity. We had some pretty nasty winds, but my wind, I didn't gauge anything here above 4 miles an hour, but I know that the trees in my green belt out here were just whacking away like crazy, and I'm like Jim down there in Covington. I've got needles all over the place, and I just paid the guy that does my landscaping to clean my roof off and blow the driveway off and all that kind of stuff. And now it's all covered with nails again, and my gutters are clogged too. They have a screen on them, and the screen gets plugged up from the pine needles, and then it doesn't flow very well. Anyway, so I don't have too much. I just thought I'd check in for the evening and say hello. I've been out I've been busy with my business, and been haven't been going out very much lately because of the weather. Anyway, back to you, Dave, K701, K7HYD.
K7HYD. Thanks for joining the net. Let's go to Richard again, K7ITX.
Okay, well, let's see here. Here we go, yeah, okay. So, yeah, here's Richard again. God, what a lot to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. Well, I guess I should at least touch on the mailbox situation for a second, since I started that crazy topic tonight. I took a hard look at our mailbox lock, and I walked away convinced that you would not be able to take a pipe wrench and spin the cylinder and locking mechanism like they did maybe at James and Bellevue. And the reason why I say that is without real deliberate careful inspection, it seemed like the part of the exterior of the cylinder that's round and you would clamp onto would just be like a trim or something that would just spin but not turn the cylinder. It appears that the cylinder is probably something that you can't spin, that the cylinder is probably, I would think, locked in the position with a Allen key into the lock itself, which is mortised into the wall of the mailbox door. And so it looked to me like there's no way to spin anything. But that's kind of a simple way of putting it. And for sure, James, make sure people understand that they have the most secure locking mailboxes on the market. Otherwise, don't spend that kind of money. So, I have to comment on Lee's movie. That was fantastic. For sure, you've got to send that to Cliff. And I wouldn't be surprised if he uses it down the road. So I just Lee, thank you very much for doing that and setting it up for us to see. However, the earbuds, I don't know. I know they're comfortable. I know they do a really good thing, but I'll tell you, the thing I don't like about them is they're not very polite for other people. And I say that because you'll have the earbuds in your ears, you'll be listening to something, but other people, your friends, your wife, they're not going to know you're listening to anything, and they're going to talk to you for a long time, and you're not going to hear them, and then you're going to turn around and they'll go, oh, were you talking to me? I have these in my ear. And then, I don't know. I don't need to say much more than that, because I've been through this so many times that I don't know. So they're very convenient though, and I probably wish I had my own pair, for myself. So other than that, I'll talk back later on the next round maybe about my booster, Bert's trip to Iceland, and what a terrible Seahawks game. With that, TD7ZIM, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks for that. Let's go to Wade, W7ATS.
All right, let's just go down the list. So this is W7ATS. Let's talk about Bert's power situation. So yeah, I hope you get your generator hooked up. I know how some of that permitting stuff can go. It can take some time, especially if there's a backlog at the city. So hopefully they get that squared away before the storm hits. To kind of comment about power, I'm very fortunate. I'm gonna knock on wood here. We don't have power issues where I live. So I've been very lucky in my current location not having power outages in the last 4 years, maybe one or two, like 15-minute ones. I was pretty close to the substation. So let's see, Richard, let's see, you were talking about your locks, and let's see, I haven't much experience with the locks. I don't really trust mailboxes, so I don't leave stuff in there very long. I've been fortunate in this house and the last house not to have any thieves to go through my mailbox yet. I've had porch pirates where they come and they steal stuff off your porch, but we installed a ring camera out there, and since then we've not had any of those incidents. We have one that's pointing out towards the driveway, and then one at the door, so they agree with in multiple places. So that's good. Let's see, Jessica. Hopefully you can get all your money back for your trip. It sounds like you're trying to get a refund. You want to wait the last minute. I guess that's. And I had a quick comment. I'm gonna pause for a second. About quarantine. Apparently Italians kind of invented the quarantine back in the medieval times with the plague. And they have a plague island out there. I don't know if it's still there, but it's like where they would put you if they caught you with the plague, and you would just go out there and they would just isolate you until either you died or you got better. So let's see. You guys not hear me? Oh, okay. And then Lee, let's see. The barometer video, that was really cool. I like the video feed and the time lapse. That would be really good footage for TV. So yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. With that said, I think this is all I got for tonight for this round. WW7ATS back tonight.
W7ATS, wait, thanks for that. Get another IDM here. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's go to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, let's see here. Gary, yeah, I kind of have the same problem as you. I get a quote professional to come here and do my yard work sort of like about maybe twice a year. I have what I thought was going to be a low maintenance yard. It's mainly rocks, and so I thought, okay, don't even have to mow the grass. But after a period of time, stuff grows through the rocks. They did put some plastic sheeting and some other semi-porous sheeting underneath the rocks. And it worked okay for about a decade or so, but I don't know if it's the wind blowing seeds over here or if it's birds dropping stuff over here, but things tend to grow through the rocks, and it's a pain in the butt. And we have a whole bunch of bushes around here, all of which need trimming on a regular basis. So yeah, just like you, Gary, no sooner does the yard guy come over here, and then a few days later, there's this big storm, and there's debris all over the place. And for that matter, my gutters are the same. I have covers over some of the gutters, and they just seem to be an area on which needles tend to not wash off. Bellevue Jim was commenting something in the past about how that's not a really good idea. I wish I had consulted him sooner, but oh well. Live and learn. Reset. And yeah, Lee, really cool video there. A couple people have mentioned you should share that with Cliff. Just curious, who is Cliff? Not sure who you're talking about there. My wife used to actually work with the fellow who would come up with weather forecasts for the Houston area with NOAA. Alan Cam, he has since retired. We haven't figured out who replaced him, but my wife was in a position to work with those people once upon a time, not too long ago in her career. Boy, it sure is nice to be retired, I've got to say that. Sorry for those of you who are not, but hang in there. The years will go by a whole lot faster than you might think. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, Jim, thanks for that. Yeah, let's go to James, WW7ATS.
Thank you, Dave. This is James, WW7ATS, Northeast Bellevue. And yes, Lee, thank you so much for the video. I think you got a quality product there. You should market that. Decide who's going to pay the big bucks for the thermometer video, because that is very nice. It's very well done. Pro tip here, this is the time of the year where you can decide what kind of risk taker you are, because if you want to just hope for the best and let your milk spoil, you put nothing in your freezer. If you're conservative, you put ice packs in your freezer. But if you're really gutsy, you stuff your freezer with frozen food. And that way you're gambling that the frozen food in the freezer will keep everything in the refrigerator cold, but the power will come back on before the freezer food melts. So this is like one of those personality tests. You can tell us next round whether you're a nothing, a water pack, or a frozen food kind of guy for the power outage season. The power outage here, I had one, I think it was a couple hours, and it was amazing. I was running around doing so many other things, and time just flew by, and all of a sudden the power came back on. I checked the one mechanical clock I have in the house, and I realized, wow, that actually was quite a long one for us. We used to be serviced by the Zimbabwe Power Company on my street, because the guy that put the original wires in, he thought, so the tribal lore goes, that he thought he was going to hang him from poles, and when he got out here, he was told, oh, no, it's underground utilities, just bury the wires under the ground. As you can see, that would work in Arizona, not so well in the Pacific Northwest. So finally, we would have power outages every fall, and that's why there's 12 batteries behind me you're probably seeing there. But since they put in a new line that's designed to be underground, we've actually done quite well around here. I too, however, did hire someone to clean my roof just, I think, a week before the storm hit. So yeah, the roof was so clean, it was all clean and wonderful, and now it's piled up with all kinds of stuff. So anyway, I'm probably the one that caused the entire windstorm then, but I'm glad to hear two other people did the same thing. They cleaned their roof. They probably are contributing factors on that. And Jim, low maintenance yard, yeah, that's kind of like a jumbo shrimp in the Pacific Northwest. I don't think there is such thing as a low maintenance yard. All yards are high maintenance. It's just what kind of maintenance are you getting? And Wade, I hadn't thought of that. Quarantine is an Italian word, isn't it? But I don't know, maybe it's French. Darn those European languages, they all sound alike. Anyway, I think it was the Renaissance era, wasn't it? It was the Middle Ages. But anyway, they had a lot of trade coming and going, and they recognized there were some problems on the ships. So they had the first little pilot, health inspector combo guy ever, coming out saying, howdy, let's see everybody on the ship. I dare you to sneeze when that guy was on board, and everybody else was just taking it, throwing you over the side. Not at all like today, where we're so civilized. Oh, okay, on that thought, this is James, WW7ATS, turning it back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Take it away, Dave.
WW7M, James, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7CYM in Lake City. Well, to answer James, I'm a frozen food person, so everything was well in the 12 hours within the freezer compartment and in the refrigerator, so no problems there. The interesting thing I had was, I don't know, I get a readout from Medicare every month of what is spent, and the last one came in on the flu vaccine, and, it's like, wow, what's the expenditure on it? And on the bill it was, the vaccine was $95, and it was $20 to administer it, and then the insurance said, we took care of it for you, and so there was no cost to me. But I thought it was kind of interesting in dollars and cents. The only other thing I had was an injection for the COVID shot was $25 for the first shot, but I didn't get anything for the second shot that came through on the paperwork. And this is all, if you have Kaiser for your insurer, this is how they give you your monthly readout on how the money is being spent, making you feel like you're really getting something back out of your contributions for your insurance. sure is. And today, beautiful sunshine. About noonish, I went out and raked for about 2.5 hours and filled 2 of those 90-gallon refuge barrels from my wonderful maple tree that's still deciding it's only about a third gone, so there's still going to be more to pick up in the next few weeks or a few days, depending on how the wind blows. The maple trees have a tendency to hold back about 20% of all the leaves till fall. Then all of a sudden, till spring, then all of a sudden on spring, that last remaining batch of leaves fall down. So I don't know why they glue and stay on the tree all winter, but just 20%. Everything else does come off. And that's pretty much here from Lake City. And I could say for Jessica on the ship, she can take her own DVDs along and give them to the ship, and they can play them to augment their selection of videos. And if you get stuck on the ship, you can always use Steve's travel logs for those countries that you're staying inside and can't get out to see, so you can see what's going on, what you're missing. So anyway, this is the KD7UIN, so let's go back up to Jessica, KS7UHK.
I like that idea. I think maybe I should just do a radio show on board. Come and see me, watch me spin CDs live. That would be hilariously fun. I do my show every Tuesday night, 10:30 to 12:30, right here at KSCR in Everett. Let's see. On the question about frozen food, I go for the charcoal briquette thing, which is okay. Let's start cooking things real quick, and let's go eat some ice cream and just whatever's going to go first. Let's go try to cook it out on the barbecue. That's my plan. And when my oven didn't work the other day, that's what I was doing with my meatloaf. Two big trays of meatloaf. I was cooking on charcoal briquettes until I figured out that actually I had the lower oven that I could put things into, which worked just fine. And it all works now, which is a whole different story. For Jim N7QO, nature takes over. That's what I've learned about things. You might put in a gravel driveway or something, and eventually grass will start growing right through it. Eventually, it'll just kind of eat up that gravel, and the gravel will slowly disappear into the ground. Yeah, leaves and pressure video, very cool. Two hands clapping over here, very, very neat. And then let's see, and then first Iceland trip coming up. There was a really pretty good Nova just the other day I watched on Arctic Drift. If you haven't seen the Arctic Drift one, that's really cool. They went up and spent like a season or like a year up in the Arctic with this big icebreaker and a bunch of scientists looking at all sorts of things, and it was really fascinating and a little bit chilling of what's going on in our world with climate change and stuff like that. And then lastly, Sylvia's school. She's going to be graduating on the 7th up there in New Hampshire. We're going to fly back there on the 6th. Luckily, it's not out of the country, so we don't have all the issues with getting in and out of the country. But she just did her final project. She got a B on it, which averages out to a B plus with all her A's she got and everything else. So we're really, really happy about that, because some people did not pass this digital photography class because it was pretty rigorous, and she talked to some folks that didn't pass, and so I've taken it again. But Sylvia passed, and that's pretty cool. With that, it's 48 minutes after the hour. My weather guesser says there's going to be clouds and sun. So this is KF7UHK.
KF7UHK. Let's go to Lee, N7KC, and Port Angeles.
Oh yes, N7KC in the city of Angeles. Yeah, okay, Richard, thank you for the advice on the earbud. I've actually, I've been accosted once already by Paula, and when I went and did McDonald's, she was talking to me, and then I pointed out that she uses earbuds on the phone quite a bit, so, you can't call the kettle black. And, yeah, Jessica, if you're going to be gone, I don't know how long your trip was, but I gather it was a pretty good trip. Did you get somebody to take your New Age music show? That'd be a problem, I think. Only you could run a show like that, you know. I don't know how you could be replaced. That's impossible. What else? Well, I'm not quite, I didn't title the video yet. I just wanted to get something strung together so I'd have something for tonight. And so forth. 4 minutes is kind of long. I wondered if it's an MP again. And, oh God, what was it? There were two renderings that were really good. The high definition MP4, pretty nice, but it makes an enormous file. 500 megabytes, something like that. It's only 4 minutes long. And then the native format on the camera looks really nice. But if you do an MP, what were the other two formats? It compresses them to the point where they're too soft. I mean, you don't get that crisp look. So you're kind of stuck. If you want a really good looking video, you got to go with the big file and so forth. In fact, I had something else. Let's look at it. So I'll send it back to you, Dave. It's 7KC per branch. Let's go at this.
M7KC, really thanks for that. And again, for ID, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Dave, TD7CYM. So let's go to our gasless prepper first, M7TS.
Okay, Gary is still out there. Yeah, when you were talking, I tried to switch your Grandstream in, but I wasn't getting anything from that IP address. So if you need to go to like what'smyipaddress.com from your browser, and then email me what that comes back with, and then we can try to get the Grandstream reprogrammed for your new IP address later. And okay, so the rest of the story about the electrician, so besides the generator, the other thing I was having done was getting the two 240-volt lines installed in my ham shack here. And I haven't hooked anything up to it yet, but as I mentioned on the last net, they're like GFCI breakers. So, I mean, they're these like huge 2-pole, 240-volt GFCI breakers. So, of course, they're buttons, so I want to press the button. So I press the button on the left one, and it trips immediately just like it's supposed to, no problem. Then I press the GFCI test button on the right breaker, and it starts to loudly make a buzz sound that kind of gets my attention. And then after 3 seconds, sparks start shooting out of it, which woke me up. And then I quickly ran to the garage and shut off the main breaker going into my shack because I didn't want anything else to happen there, and was carrying the fire extinguisher around with me just in case. But so the electricians came out today, like I mentioned, and they said, yeah, we want to go see what's going on there. And yeah, that GFCI breaker is just broken. The test button no longer even works. It's just totally dead. So they're going to have to replace that. And of course, it's going to take them a week to find another breaker because they're just parts are hard to get everywhere. But and they still can't even get the 30 amp breaker I'm supposed to have. I mean, they had to put a 20 in because they can't find 30s anywhere for the 2-pole 30 amp breakers. But anyway, that's it for now. So 73, I don't think will come around to me again. So this is Bert and Marshall, and 7CS back to net.
And 7CS, let's go to Gary, K7HYD.
Yes, good evening. K7CYM, K7HYD, and I will, third I'll set my IP. I didn't think it had changed, but maybe it has, or something happened up at the office. I guess everybody else would have the same problem. But, anyway, lock-in mailboxes. I'll make a quick comment about that. I lived out here 50-some odd years, and I've been working for 30 to try to get them to put lock-in mailboxes out there. Now, we don't normally have too many issues, but I've had my box broken into that I know of at least once. And we have no boxes. We have no locks. It's just a tin box is all it is, and it would take a good swipe from a ball-peen hammer to tear it apart. That's about it. It is a mess out here. I got pine needles all over the place in my gutters, and they were clogged up, and I just had them cleaned out. And I had some rhododendrons and azaleas in my front yard that had been out there for 40 plus years, and we decided to take them out because they were getting old and rotten. I guess I would be too if I wasn't. Well, I'm old and rotten. I'm 80 years old, so whatever. Anyway, back to you, Dave. 73 says everybody, and we'll see you later. K7HYP.
K7HYP. Let's go to Richard. K7ITX.
Great to hear it from you tonight, Gary, and what a bummer on all the pine needles piling back up in your gutter. I know the feeling of trying to keep your downspouts and drainage going. I just cleared out our drainage pipe that I hadn't really looked at for I don't know, I hate to admit it, probably about 10, 15, 20 years, so I was shocked when I got everything all uncovered and the grate cleaned out that it still works. So anyway, sorry about that, Gary. And then let's see, Covington Gym, retirement. Yes, it is a great feeling. And the thing I really like about retirement is, oddly enough, is going back to work. Right now, it's just fun. I didn't work at all during the summer to speak of, other than just play around with sports cars. But now that the season's over, I was kind of getting bored. Okay, I'd like to make some coinage, and thank God someone needed my help. And right now, one of my biggest projects is working with Apple. I tell you, I love Apple. I love my iPhone. I love trying to make Apple happy. And, what a great company. Apple, all these tech companies in our region, they've just made my life wonderful for a lot of various reasons, whether it's my occupation or just my leisure time. It's really pretty cool. So retirement can't get better, and I think you'll be shocked if you're able to go back to work when you're retired at your own pace and basically your own rules and regulations. Instead of them telling you what to do, you will tell them what you will do and not do. So I never thought I'd be in that position, but here I am, and I love it. So, okay, and I guess I ran out of time. Bert, my mother-in-law is Icelandic from Keflavik, so I got all kinds of great stories. So, with that, KD7ZYN, K7ITX, back to net control, and 73.
K7ITX, thanks for joining the net. We got your 73. Let's go to Wade, W7ITL, Tacoma.
Alright, well this is my last, we got about a minute and a half or so, this W7ITL, and we'll start off with Bert. So it sounds like you got some extra work you got to get done now. Not sure if that breaker broke. I'm guessing it broke because it's defective, and it's good that you tested it before the ran off with your check, so I'll have to come back and get that fixed for you. Let's see, I heard about windstorms and gutter cleaning. I think I'm going to cut it short and just call it a night and say 73, everybody. W7ITL back to that.
Well, let's go to Jim in 7QO for the final.
Dave, I think there was just a little bit of a double in there, but I'll just say goodnight to everyone. Thank you very much for the pictures. Thanks for participating, and I hope to catch you all on Saturday night. Back to you, Dave, in 7QO.
In 7QO, and the net winding down. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society map on the 08 machine. We'd like to thank the owners and operators of the 08 machine, the CTAC Repeater Group, for allowing us to utilize the 08 machine for our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off for the evening for the net. Good evening all.